own side of the deal.
Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. A mother is taking her fight to the Minnesota State Capitol so that her son with epilepsy can use CBD oil in case he has a seizure. The Mind Unleashed reports the worried mother expressed that her son has tried 3 different epilepsy medications, resulting in life-threatening reactions. However, the 2 things that safely and reliably work for him are medical marijuana and CBD oil. CBD oil is derived from the hemp plant, and it is similar to compounds that our bodies produce naturally called endocannabinoids. Cannabinoids aren't only found in the cannabis plant, they're also naturally occurring in other plants, but are found at a higher potency in cannabis. CBD oil offers the healing power of marijuana without the psychoactive effect of the chemical compound THC. CBD has shown promise as a treatment for conditions like epilepsy and anxiety in early research. If your job is working at a restaurant flipping burgers, you may soon find yourself replaced by a robot that works for $3 an hour. The Mind Unleashed reports the new robot is named Flippy and was developed by Miso Robotics, costing less to employ than a minimum wage worker. Currently, Miso Robotics charges an upfront fee of between $20,000 to $30,000 to install Flippy into restaurants. According to Digital Trends, Flippy is a burger flipping robot arm that's equipped with both thermal and regular vision, which grills burgers to order while also advising human collaborators in the kitchen when they need to add cheese or prep buns for serving. When Miso Robotics set out to create their first units, off-the-shelf robotic arms sold for upwards of $100,000. Today they're going for about $10,000 and are only getting cheaper. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish a TV show where I travel across this great nation, eating pork in every one of our 50 states. Join me on my cross-country odyssey as I make our forefathers proud, reveling in life, liberty, and the pursuit of pork.
You really taste the cooked pork.
This stuff is fantastic.
I'm a big salt fan.
Let's pork! We're tasting prime pork dishes in every state in the Union, and I couldn't be more excited for this once-in-a-lifetime tour. You're going to be right here with me, seeing everything I do and watching every pork I taste. I'm Jim Haggerty. You know me as the host of Today Now, but I've also eaten in a ton of restaurants. Now I'm heading out on the road. My mission? Find the best pork our country has to offer.
Watch Jim Haggerty's Porkin' Across America at youtube.com/theonion.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Conan.
And have you ever seen the movie, crap, I've already forgotten the name of it, Sunshine?
Yes.
What were your thoughts about it?
This is the space, they're traveling to the sun, right?
Yes, they are traveling to the sun to dump a payload into presumed to be nuclear warheads, but I don't think they ever actually specify.
You know, I've seen it once about 3 or 4 years ago, and I actually have it queued up. I just acquired it to watch again because it's a kind of a space horror.
Yeah.
But there is, you got a lot of human element going on. You have a lot of, back and forth between the characters. I seem to remember liking it a whole bunch.
I liked it a whole bunch too when I saw it like a decade ago, but I rewatched it again last night, and it scares me because the very first thing I noticed about the movie was how racially balanced the cast was. And this was not something that even crossed my mind 10 years ago. But when I watched it last night, that was the first thing that leapt out at me, was that you had an Asian dude,
2007,
an Asian girl, a white dude, a white girl,
and
a black dude.
And what you're saying is it didn't seem inorganic. It seemed like it just happened that way. And in the case of a lot of movies that are coming out in recent years, it just feels fake.
Well, I don't know if it feels any faker in modern movies than it did in 2007 when Sunshine was made.
Right.
But it's people focusing on these things all over Twitter and Facebook caused me to immediately notice those things when 10 years ago, I never noticed that about the movie.
I just finished Altered Carbon, the second season, yesterday, which is another, it's a sci-fi noir.
Okay.
You get your detective and he's figuring things out.
Sure.
The first season was very well. Like you said, I probably wouldn't have noticed the characters and their skin color and their diversity 10 years ago, but because that's all we deal with these days, it's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, there's an awful lot of the same color person in this show, but I mean, it worked. It's a really good show. I definitely recommend it. But yeah, I think it's sad that that's the first thing we go to. That's the first thing we look for.
Yeah, exactly, because it's irrelevant to the plot. It's irrelevant to how good the movie is or anything like that. And it's not something that was true for me when I watched this movie a decade ago or 12 years ago or 13 years ago, however long ago it was. There was not something that was even noteworthy. It's like, okay, this is the captain, this is the physicist, this is the doctor. Their racial makeup meant nothing to me. But now it's the main focus.
It's the main that's Hollywood's main focus, and they are.
Well, it's not. I don't know if it's Hollywood's main focus, but it's the culture's main focus.
Correct, and they are appeasing the new culture and China.
Yeah, definitely.
They're jumping through fiery hoops and whatnot to make sure that they don't get any bad tweets from the warriors out there who sit and they actually do all the calculations. Well. There was only 1% blacks in this new movie that just came out, or there is no representation of intersex. It's like, well, Disney, you're bad. We need to make sure that we crucify you. People, that's all they don't care about the story. They don't care about the plot, good character development. They only care about the numbers, which is sad.
As you pointed out in the second season of this show, whose name I've already forgotten. It's infected you as well, just as it's infected me.
It did.
And that's what's scary. We're being programmed to look for these things that we don't actually care about, presumably.
What we shouldn't care about. It shouldn't even be a consideration. We should be only looking for good programs and not the numbers.
It's scary that we can be manipulated, I think, into looking for things that we don't care about simply because everyone else is looking for them and caring about them.
Right.
So anyway, that's not the only issue going on with millennials, apparently.
Yeah, they just can't cut a break, man. They are.
If they're not flipping out on Twitter about the racial makeup of the latest Disney movie, then they're going, I don't know. I don't think you're really insane if you have Alzheimer's, but
it's dementia. It's the brain is falling apart. Earlier than should, and
evidently this is happening to a lot of millennials.
It's happening. Well, it's not just millennials; it's across the board.
Okay,
the millennials have the most increase in numbers since when this study was done.
Okay,
so
interesting.
and I did pull that report up as well. This is something that is kind of near and dear to my heart because dementia is on my mother's side of the family. I got heart disease and whatnot on my dad's side. I don't think that's going to be anything I have to worry about.
Okay.
Some of my siblings maybe, but dementia is something that I think about. I've actually changed some of my lifestyle, choices. I need to stop drinking as much, but I have cut back a whole bunch. But I mean, I make my own deodorant. I don't cook off of Teflon.
And you keep your house at 50.
And my house is 50. So basically, the whole thing about
I will never forget that.
Taking cold showers, to liven you up in the morning. I don't need any of that because it's always cold. But anyways, this article is coming from the phillyvoice.com. Just last week, the number of millennials with early onset Alzheimer's disease is surging, a report finds. Dementia and Alzheimer's disease traditionally have been considered a concern for older generations, but recent spikes in early onset of these conditions in Americans as young as 30 suggests a different story.
Now, I don't know much about Alzheimer's, but it's essentially extreme forgetfulness, right?
It starts off with your memory, and then before you know it, you don't recognize the people around you. You're pooping and peeing on yourself. You can't, it's a slow downward spiral, and it's pretty nasty.
Now, I realize where I'm at and the people with whom I surround myself, but it seems like marijuana could have a lot to play here.
I'm thinking a lot of drugs. In fact, this is going to lead me into another article where I do believe I'm blaming this. I think it is a matter of two very popular drugs, both legal, that I wasn't taking when I was a kid. But a couple of years after, decades following, it became very widely used. And I'll just get to the point. I'm speaking of Ritalin and Adderall.
We know marijuana makes people forgetful, though. I've lived that.
Right.
I used to have a terrible memory. You could almost watch my memory go downhill in real time over the course of like 3 or 4 years. But when I stopped smoking, I stopped forgetting basic things.
And you probably started rebuilding some of those burned out brain, your wiring.
And I don't know to what extent, cannabis could actually be responsible for Alzheimer's or anything like that. But if we know that this substance causes short-term, I think, memory loss.
That's the first steps are short-term, and then it becomes long-term.
Is that true for Alzheimer's as well?
I'm not sure. There are different types of dementias. I just found out about another one that I never heard of before. But yeah, it's basically your brain is deteriorating.
Okay.
So between 2013 and 2017, early onset dementia and Alzheimer's diagnosis increased by 83%. So 4 years there, 83% increase among commercially insured Americans aged 30 to 44, according to a report leased by the healthcare insurer. That age group includes the oldest, millennials. So millennials start so if you're born after 83, all the way up to about 95, 97, 96, 97, you're a millennial.
It's just weird to me that there are 44-year-old millennials.
That doesn't make sense because I'm 41 and I'm just on the cusp. I'm an Xer. So
they're using a slightly different definition of what a millennial is then?
Maybe. So it should be, I would say about 38. If you're 38 right now, you're a millennial.
Or younger?
Or younger.
Yeah. I would say 20 to 38.
That sounds about right.
Anyway, this is Free Talk Live. We're going to talk more about Alzheimer's and how it's affecting millennials and what could be the cause, particularly according to an article Conan has brought in, those ADD and ADHD medications. This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary? And does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in to talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Johnson.
And Conan.
And I want to tell you about Bitcoin.com because they've launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com that allows you to buy and sell Bitcoin Cash using dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site. And all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. So finally, we have a global trading platform that respects our privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Again, that's local.bitcoin.com. Easily one of my preferred sites for dealing in cryptocurrency. But before we get too deeply into this Alzheimer's article, let's go to the phones. We've got Michael calling from Florida. Michael, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
Doing good. What's on your mind?
Okay. I want to ask you, what is your opinion about Trump?
I am not a fan.
He's a Democrat in sheep/wolf's clothing.
I really don't like Trump at all, but I've already stated that if the Democrats manipulate the primaries for Biden, that I will be voting for him.
Okay, I got another question.
Okay. Shoot.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
God, did you have your finger on the button?
I did, but there is a weird thing going on with the dump button over at GCN.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was ready for that.
We all knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Anytime people call before the show starts, it's never a good sign.
But I mean, if you don't, I mean, so it sounds like you really like Trump. I mean, instead of telling us to go F off, I mean, maybe tell us why he's such a good president. And maybe we can have a back and forth.
So what was the thing that you said about Sanders and Trump? Because there was some background noise there from the caller that I wasn't quite able to.
No, it was about Biden. I loathe Biden, and I've predicted from the very beginning of this contest that the primaries would be rigged to place Biden as the nominee. I predicted this almost a year ago, I guess, at this point, and I said.
But then Bloomberg came up.
Doesn't matter. If Biden gets the nomination, I made the commitment that if Biden gets the nomination, I will vote for Trump out of spite. And I think that it's going to happen.
I think it's more likely that Bloomberg is going to get it.
Watch. You watch. It'll be Biden. I called it a long time ago. It's going to be Biden.
But where does Hillary come into play?
Everything else is a show.
Well, it's all a show.
Right. But it's a show that's been rigged for Biden for over a year, probably well before that even.
Would you rather that Sanders get the nomination?
And lose, yes.
To Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, so you prefer Trump over them? See, someone asked me today who I
don't know.
I don't
know if I prefer Trump over Sanders, but I would like to see a victory over socialism, I guess. I
think
know.
that would...
Or I'd like to see him win and things go badly enough that we never get another socialist candidate again. But I don't know if that would... I think it would be so bad for this country during the time frame that Bernie is president that, I mean, yeah, we would never get another socialist candidate again, but the damage, it would be really, I think it would be bad, very bad during that time period.
If you are like me and think the damage is going to come regardless of who is in charge, wouldn't it be nicer just to get it out of the way, get it over with while we're still young, by the way, and we can handle it?
I guess it seems like there's going to be a lot more damage though from a Sanders. I don't know. I don't
know that Sanders is any more socialist than Donald Trump, though.
I think he's a lot more.
I think he's a lot more.
But the way the problem I see, and this is why I always wanted Hillary to get into office, not because I support her at all, but because she would rally the opposition in the form of, I'm thinking, conservatives and right-leaning peoples.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, she rallied them all the way behind Donald Trump.
Well, now that they have...
I don't know that was a good thing.
No, that's the thing. No, that's the thing. They have their man now, and now it's all died down. Now it's like nothing ever happened. It's like everything's cush. Look at the stock market. Da-da-da-da-da. Look at all the blacks that have jobs now. I mean, it's all these silly numbers.
Stock market's in shambles right now.
Oh, right. We just got out of a war, I think. Was it Afghanistan?
Yeah.
Well...
Yeah, we're not. There's still like 8,000 troops there.
We're out of war with Afghanistan in the way we're no longer at war in Iraq.
Yeah. We're still there, as in when I say we, I mean our soldiers protecting oil and drugs. And I'm thinking especially opium.
Well, let's get back to the phones. We've got Martin calling from West Virginia. Martin, you're on Free Talk Live.
How are y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Hey, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I got a question for the HC.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you have your penis removed during surgery?
I did not. I have, in fact, not had surgery. Good question. Thanks for sitting on hold for 23 minutes to ask that. I wish I had your level of boredom in my life.
He didn't even sound drunk.
Why would you wish for that level of boredom?
Because it would mean that I was less busy and I could do things like just sit there on hold for 23 minutes to ask an idiotic question. I am jealous of that level of sloth.
Ignorance is bliss, right?
It is.
Being stupid is, if you don't have to, you're not thinking about all the stuff that's going on out there.
Yeah.
And you'll probably live longer.
I mean, you got to think about that. At the top of this dude's priority list, right, is sitting on hold for 23 minutes to ask me that. That's amazing. Kudos to you, dude, for a well-lived life.
And thanks for helping us prove that it is, in fact, Free Talk Live, where you can call about whatever you want.
Yeah, but I don't think that he was going to ask anything that was remotely appropriate, so he had to go.
Well, yeah, of course.
Didn't dump him,
but he got to speak. Most radio shows, you would sit on hold for longer than 23 minutes. The call screener would pick up, and you would ask you what you were going to ask, and probably dump you off the line, even if you had something that sounded reasonable and in topic with the show. If the call screener just doesn't like the sound of your voice, you're gone.
You know, that brings up a good point, because that's really the Rush Limbaugh formula.
Yeah.
Where he just talks and talks and talks, and the only people he has call in are his sycophants.
Right.
I love listening to you, Rush. And it's like, it's horrible, but he's on his way out. So the question is, unless he remarkably recovers, which, you know, I don't want him to die or anything, but whatever.
It's not that I want him to die. I just don't care if he dies.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, what is next? Who's going to take...
Well, I was suffering from lung cancer, and then I got Alex Jones' Berkey Light water filters.
And
everything was cured. It was a miracle.
I'm wondering it because I don't think his competitors are going to be able to pick up the slack. So the question is, what's going to be the next formula? What do people like listening to? Do they like this type of show where they can just call in and talk about whatever, and we'll let anybody talk, not just the people who agree with us?
Free Talk Live is like 26 and head talkers or whatever it is.
Well, we're
competitors with Rush.
But a
Limbaugh.
lot of people,
he's winning, but we are direct competitors.
They get their radio currently. It's available. Their type of radio is available. What happens when it's not? Where do they turn then? Will they want to come to us, or will they go hit the Laura Ingrams and the Hannitys of the world?
I don't know.
Only time will tell. 855-450-3733. As has been pointed out, you can indeed call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward Liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the Liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. sales.freetalklive.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgoristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agorist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agorist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agoristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agorist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agoristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agoristhosting.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Johnson.
And Conan.
And are you 100% sure that you're going to have a great retirement, or do you have doubts? Well, Tom Young, the author and founder of the CFO Project, can show you how to be debt-free in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, without spending a single dollar more. And with the current state of the federal debt at $23 trillion and the unfunded liabilities at $127 trillion, you can't wait to take control of your money. Don't let your retirement savings be used to bail out the government. So go to the CFOproject.com, that's CFO-project.com, to get your free copy of his new book, The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project. Again, that's CFO-project.com. Go get your free book today. It's a free book. So have at it. And we're talking about, during the break, we were talking about Super Tuesday, which evidently today is Super Tuesday, which means a lot of Republicans and Democrats are going to be voting, and I don't really care about the entire thing.
Super.
Without any results, it's they're saying here, at least at the New York Times, that it looks like 6 states are leaning or probably going Biden has 1, 2. Apparently, they're calling it very early for Virginia and North Carolina for Biden. Vermont, they're calling for Sanders without any results, but they're basically saying that it looks like Biden may win 6 states and Sanders is going to win 8. But
so brokerage convention.
Yeah.
And Bernie's going to fight it.
Sure, and then
because he could win the popular vote.
And Bloomberg will probably stick around to fight in a brokered convention as well.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Little short Mike.
Well, let's get back to the
Shorty
phones.
McMoneybags.
Yep.
We've got Rick calling from South Carolina. Rick, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, I was going to make a comment about the election. See, I honestly don't really think it matters if Bernie goes up against Trump. You got the ultimatum: either you're getting an actual Jewish conniving rat versus Trump, who's a paid out, bought-in Jewish shill. So, it really doesn't matter which one you get when it comes down to it. They're both Israeli puppets.
What? We've heard this allegation before. Why do you assert that Trump is an Israeli puppet?
Well, he's surrounded by Jews. Look at him.
I don't.
You should have a good brisket. I don't know what's wrong
his daughter's married into the Jewish family.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I think that's all I know.
Haven't you ever watched the comedy show?
He's surrounded by Jews. He's also surrounded by Jews.
You need to learn to laugh more.
Oh, good point. We're talking about Bloomberg just now.
You need to learn a little history, bud.
What's that?
Holocaust is a lie. The Holocaust is a lie. Hitler did nothing wrong. The Holocaust is a lie. NSM88.org.
Yeah.
It sounds like you like short little guys like that with the little mustache.
All of the evidence, kind of disagrees. The Holocaust is a lie. Doesn't even make sense grammatically. But yeah, the Holocaust, is sad to say, was a thing that actually happened. So sorry to burst your bubble.
Maybe Hitler wasn't real. That's what they're trying to say, I think. Right?
Hitler wasn't?
They're saying that there were no Nazis, that this never happened, right? So they don't believe. This guy was clearly trying to tell us that he doesn't believe in Nazis, that he's very pro being not racist because Nazis never existed. He's so open-minded culturally that he doesn't believe that the Nazis ever even existed. That's how open-minded culturally this guy is.
I hope to never be so open-minded.
Colorblind. Perfect.
So, let's carry on. We've got John calling from Kentucky. John, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
Good. What's on your mind?
I want to ask you, what is your opinion on Bernie Sanders? Do you like Bernie Sanders?
Not particularly.
No.
Who is your favorite person?
Who is your favorite person?
You mean for the
Me.
You mean for the 2020 presidential
For
elections?
the 2020 election, who is your favorite person?
Vermin Supreme.
I'm voting for myself.
Okay.
I don't have
Fuck
anybody.
you, fag.
Yeah.
What?
A for effort.
Where
Way
are
to
these
let me plug Vermin Supreme.
Where are
though.
these people coming from?
Good. Who knows, man? Well, Cantwell
internet.
is in jail, so he can't do his show.
Was he even doing a show up until just recently?
Yeah.
I guess
He
that
was
makes
doing two
guess
shows,
that
I
makes
believe.
sense.
And so, I mean, there is known associations between Christopher Cantwell and hosts of Free Talk Live. So, plus, man, the Nazis, they're so stupid. You know, if you say something, I'm sorry, but they are. If you say something like that, your call is immediately going to get dropped and dumped, and you're never going to make it onto the airwaves. If you want to get your ideas across, however repugnant they may be, you have to at least keep it clean and be able to carry on a dialogue. And what's unfortunate about these people is that 9 times out of 10, they're incapable of doing that. As we've seen repeatedly, we have had these Nazi callers call in and actually carry on conversations with us.
Yep.
They say ridiculous things, but they actually say things that have meaning. So let's get back to the story about Alzheimer's, because I wish I could forget the last 20 minutes.
We could get over it. So first of all, let's define.
Joe Biden probably has it.
Biden definitely has some sort of dementia.
Would you like to
Definitely
stroke
some
my
sort of,
leg
like-
hair?
There's
It's
definitely
not just that. He doesn't know what state he's in.
there's
He doesn't
all
know
sorts of-
he doesn't know what day it is.
the comments that
Was
like,
it Biden who said that he was in Vermont when he was here in Keene?
He says that in every state.
Yeah.
He's in the wrong. Every state he's been in the wrong state.
But Vermont
was
and
congratulating
Keene are like 12 feet apart.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, in one election he was congratulating the win for Barack America.
He thinks he's running for Senate. He
does.
He said that multiple times.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where he's at. It's really sad. Let the guy go out to pasture and just die, because it's just this is senior abuse.
I mean,
it truly is.
Not to mention the laws that this guy has written are. I mean, he's really messed up. He's really sick. That's why I don't want him in office. Is because one of the things that he's responsible for was the Rave Act. Right?
When was that?
That was in 2001. He was sponsoring this legislation, writing this legislation that was, he's very anti-drugs. And he basically said, look, if you can't get him on the drugs, just make something up. He said this in a congressional session. He said, just make stuff up, get them on something else.
And is he still against marijuana in 2020?
Oh, he's against everything still. He's, hey, man, come on, man. These drug dealers, they just need new products. They're looking for new products like anybody else, like brokers on Wall Street.
If they had leg hairs like me and little kids around, they'd be all right. They wouldn't have to sell drugs. They could just be lifeguards.
Oh, my God.
So what is the qualitative difference between Bloomberg and Joe Biden?
Bloomberg has money.
Yeah.
And he's trying to buy an election, which is interesting.
Yeah. Does Biden not? I mean, they all buy.
They're both authoritarian.
Bloomberg is actually a businessman. I don't know that he's the best one out there, but he's got a lot of money, so he's done something right. And also, everyone hates him because he's all misogynistic and but actually, that's about it. And he's short. Oh, he's really short.
I still think it's funny that
he also calls trans people it.
That they're completely ignoring the fact that Tulsi Gabbard is still in the race.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
They're like, we're gonna rig it. You're not even invited to the next debate.
I was surprised. Poot gave up. Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
I thought that.
Well, it's because that was part of the rigging. Yeah. Buttigieg and Klobuchar and.
Yeah, but they can't both be Biden's vice president.
They don't need to be. They're just allies in the establishment arena.
I thought when Klobuchar dropped out, I'm like, all right, she's going to be vying for the vice presidential position.
See, what they're hoping for now.
And then Poot dropped out, and I'm like, oh, crap.
What they're hoping for now is that no one has a clear lead when they go to it, so they have to go to a second round, so that all of the establishment candidate voters can pick.
But Poot would have had a chance.
Candidate.
He would have had a chance if he had stayed in. Maybe more than Biden.
I don't know. Not the way it's looking today.
Oh, in Virginia, you're right about that.
And North Carolina and a lot of other places as well.
855-450-3733.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
Hey guys, it's Sue Cosner, your favorite sexual health expert, with another version of Ask the Pro. This month, I got a letter from Sandy in Seattle about an explosive bedroom secret she and her husband recently discovered. She writes, Dear Sue, my husband and I used to have a great life in the bedroom, but in the last few years, he has struggled. He's tried about everything, but nothing has worked. Then one day he came home and gave me a night I will never forget. He told me about this secret formula, Noxatril, that changed our life in the bedroom once and for all. Wow, Sandy, you beat me to it. I recommend Noxatril to every guy that struggles in the bedroom. It's the only one. Noxatril is all natural and works to increase blood flow fast. It's like that little blue pill on steroids. Noxatril has a special free bottle offer, shipped discreetly to your door.
To find out how to get your bottle of Noxatril, call 800-421-0954. 800-421-0954. Get your free bottle for a limited time. Call now. 800-421-0954. 800-421-0954.
Join me, George Norrie, in Indian Wells, California, May 29th to June 1st for the Contact in the Desert UFO Conference, an epic weekend of exploration into UFOs, ancient civilizations, crop circles, and so much more. Over 150 lectures, panels, workshops, and events with leading experts: Paul Hellyer, Linda Moulton Howe, Nick Pope, Emery Smith, Stephen Greer, Russell Targ, Doc Wallach, Leslie Kane, and more. Get your tickets at contactinthedesert.com. It's time to make contact. Contactinthedesert.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. www.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Johnson.
And Conan.
And you know, the Edge wallet is the mobile wallet that I use for storing and using my cryptocurrencies. It also supports buying and selling cryptocurrencies, but you don't want to do that. Just use it to trade and securely hold your cryptocurrencies. It's user-controlled. It's your money at all times, supporting Bitcoin Core, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Stellar, and many more. Being built since 2014 by a veteran team with a tagline of Secure Your Freedom. You can find out more about it at edge.app. Again, that's edge.app. Or just download it directly from the Google Play or iOS stores because it's one of, if not the best, most user-friendly cryptocurrency wallet out there. Anyway, before we get back into this article about Alzheimer's, let's go to the phones. We've got John calling from Canada. John, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, guys. I was just, I heard the promo that you guys had to move to Keene and all that. I'm trying to figure out what is actually going on there. Why would I move there and whatnot?
Well, it's considered the crypto mecca by certain circles. If you are into cryptocurrency, you will find more cryptocurrency accepting businesses per capita here than I think anywhere else in the world. Of course, that is per capita. There's some echo going on there, John. There is a list of 100 reasons to move to Keene that you can find on the Free Keene website. That's free, F-R-E-E, Keene, Keene.com. I would recommend looking there. It's a cool, quaint community with a college town, so it's got lots of bars.
We have a college. We have a state college and a community college,
on YouTube,
which by the way just shut down today because of guess what? Coronavirus.
Really? They shut down?
The Amherst one shut down first, and then it's come to Keene as well because of one professor
so
was
come
like,
to Keene, but not right away.
Yeah, well, it's not a big deal. If you're young and you wash your hands, you'll be just fine. It's a low population. It's about 23,000. The taxes aren't the best, but there are surrounding towns. There's some really nice surrounding towns around Keene, so you can basically use the amenities here in Keene and live out in one of the surrounding towns and have yourself some property and have yourself a little urban garden or whatever. As far as taxes are concerned, it's not that great. But
I mean, taxes are everywhere.
Yeah, but a lot of people just look at the property tax and that's all they consider. New Hampshire in general is one of the lowest. I think it's like the third or fourth lowest in the country. I don't know what you're dealing with up there in Canada if that's where you're coming from, but it's actually significantly lower here in this state than it is elsewhere. Vermont, for example, is not low at all. Everything's taxed over there.
Interesting. So evidently, it is on the freekeene.com website. Reasons - move to Keene. I said that very poorly. It's reasons to move to Keene, all separated by hyphens. You can find it at the freekeene.com website. There's been a lot of political successes. The cops here are about as well behaved and friendly as you can hope to find from people who are paid mercenaries acting to enforce the will of the state.
It is it's magical how human beings will, settle down and be more civil when they think that their actions might get out there and people might actually see them shooting dogs or kicking down doors. They're a lot less likely to do those types of things if they know they'll be on YouTube that night.
Yes, and they know they will be.
Oh, yeah.
Here in Keene.
And if it's not actually happening to us, people will contact us.
Yeah.
And they'll ask, especially they'll usually go straight to Mr. Freeman, but who is he's a reporter in his own right. He will usually go out there and check on things, and you might just your issues with the state, with the city or the state are going to be readily available to anyone who is interested in this type of material. It'll be right out there, and so yeah, it's human beings are a lot when it's a meritocracy here for real. What do you think, Mr. Canada?
I have him on hold because of the feedback. Hold on one moment. John?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you just fine.
Oh, cool. So you guys are suggesting that just your monitoring of the police has created some change in the police culture there?
Absolutely. They are a lot more civil.
I imagine you have your own life experience of it, but I mean, is there a real way to log that, or is that just a general?
It's my general opinion, dealing with the cops in other states and dealing with them here in this state.
Yeah, there's lots of videos of police encounters in Keene as well that you can find on YouTube. You can also find the 101 Reasons film on YouTube, which is more geared towards the Free State Project. If you've not heard of the Free State Project, it is a migratory movement to move
to the
state of New Hampshire, not just Keene, but to the state in general. That is already underway with 4,000, 5,000 people have already moved, supposedly.
Yeah, and there are other communities who handle things a little differently. You definitely have your politicos, usually over in the Manchester, Concord area.
Yeah, but it's worth pointing out that the ad he was talking about wasn't promoting the Free State Project. It was promoting specifically Move to Keene.
But I mean, I want the man to move here, period. If he is a man, if you lean towards liberty and you just think Keene's a little too, Democrat for you, a little left-leaning.
Yeah, but if you go to Manchester, you're
options.
likely to get arrested by the police who are not accountable, thrown into Valley Street, beaten. Manchester's jail is so bad that the superintendent of the jail was recently in the news saying something like, yeah, but inmates are no longer complaining about getting dragged around by their hair and beaten. So, I mean, things have improved. Like, dude, that's a really low bar.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the Keene jail here is typically called the Cheshire County Spiritual Retreat because it's one of the nicer jails that you can involuntarily spend your time in.
Which, by the way, they can't keep filled with our own people here in this area. We ship them in all over the state because we have room for them.
Well, the state ships them in.
Yes.
I don't ship them in.
Well, the state ships them in and the jail gets money for it. So they're
and
just
I'm not
fine.
a fan of that.
And I am not as either.
But I mean, it's better to ship them there, I guess, than Valley Street
yes.
in Manchester. Or to the state penitentiary in Concord, I think. But yeah, the police here, I mean, the Cop Block, I don't know if it was founded here, but the people who founded Cop Block have certainly lived here.
Mm-hmm.
The Keene Cop Block group has kind of died down a bit, but the cops are still 100% used to being on camera. They don't even think anything about it anymore, where you have police in some jurisdictions who will attempt to arrest you for trying to video them and who will make up lies saying, no, you don't have my permission to video me. You can't stand here videotaping this or recording this. You don't have any of that crap here in Keene.
Yeah, they definitely believe they have rights that the rest of us sheep don't.
And it's also a college town, which means that our cops are just inherently less likely to shoot people because mommy and daddy have money and they will sue the city of Keene into oblivion if the Keene PD shoots their little Charlie because Charlie was smoking a joint out on the sidewalk. So there are all sorts of reasons, but it's also a cool place. There's lots to see and do. I mean, it mostly bars, but
there are a lot of bars.
Some of them take cryptocurrency. So there's also that.
Yeah, check out the 101 Reasons film. It's got a lot in there. sure.
Yeah, by far, I think the best reason, though, is the cryptocurrency. I mean, I went to a store today. I bought this Monster using Bitcoin Cash. I bought my cigarettes today using Bitcoin Cash. I try to hit all of the cryptocurrency accepting businesses here at least once a week, and there are almost too many to work into every single week.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually end up skipping Thirsty Owl, but I know plenty of other people go there. So getting to the story about Alzheimer's and millennials,
let's pull
finally.
it up. All right, first of all, we need to define...
John, thank you so much for the call. Always great to talk about reasons to move to Keene.
Let us first... No, not dementia. We want to define Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's disease is an irreversible, progressive brain disorder that slowly destroys memory and thinking skills, and eventually the ability to carry out the simplest tasks. In most people, the disease, though with late onset type symptoms, first appear in their mid-60s. Early onset Alzheimer's, which is what we're talking about this evening, occurs between a person 30s and mid-60s and is very rare, but it's not as rare as it was 4 years ago. Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause of dementia among older adults, and it's rising.
So Alzheimer's causes dementia?
It is a dementia where your brain slowly deteriorates.
855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
You can be the smartest person in the room on the topic of the Constitution if you watch this free webinar. Liberty First University is online training on the principles of liberty and the origin, proper application, and defense of our founding documents and the principles they contain. You will receive an education worthy of the highest institutions of learning, as if the founders were teaching it. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,641, silver at $17.23, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,779. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Cibola County, New Mexico Sheriff Tony Mace says he and other sheriffs from around the state are meeting with attorneys this week as they get ready to file suit over the state's new red flag law, signed last week by the governor. During the signing ceremony, the governor said that sheriffs who aren't prepared to enforce the new law should resign. But Sheriff Mace and other sheriffs are taking the matter to court instead. Mace said that the sheriffs will be holding meetings with several different attorneys over the next few weeks to discuss litigation strategies before filing suit to block the law from taking effect. Activist Post reports that in addition to the constitutional issues at stake, there's also the pragmatic argument against red flag laws. As Sheriff Mace points out, when someone has been deemed by a court to be a danger to themselves or others, the law gives the individual in question 48 hours to turn over their guns. And of course, once the firearms are seized, the dangerous person is left to their own devices. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared a public health emergency this week after 2 people in the state tested positive for coronavirus. One of the sick residents is an adult with no clear link to the countries where the virus is widespread, leading some to believe there are many other cases and carriers in the state that have not yet been tested. The Mind Unleashed reports health officials are also putting contacts of those patients into quarantine as a matter of precaution because the virus is so contagious. One of the people in quarantine for that reason happens to be a student whose classmates shook hands with Vice President Mike Pence last week. On Friday, just days after being named by Donald Trump as the head of the Outbreak Response Task Force, Pence was at a Sarasota Military Academy in Florida, shaking hands with cadets and posing for photographs. The student, who was at risk, was in quarantine and not at the event with Pence. But a coronavirus patient was mere points of unprotected contact away from the President of the United States. Amazon says it has pulled more than 1 million products for price gouging or for falsely advertising effectiveness against the coronavirus. Activist Post reports the company in a statement said that it has always required sellers provide accurate information on product pages and removes those that violates its policies. Amazon said that third-party sellers must follow its fair pricing policy, which states companies can't set a price significantly higher than seen in other places, or sell an item that misleads customers. The removal comes after Wired found sellers gouging the prices of coronavirus-related products, like face masks, or charging people exorbitant shipping costs, according to the magazine. In one instance, the publication found a seller with face masks for as much as 5 times their normal price. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It's The Onion Radio News. Teen sex is linked to alcohol and drugs by the Center for Figuring Out Really Obvious Things. This is Doyle Redland reporting. An exhaustive 4-year, $23 million study of substance abuse and sexual habits of more than 2,500 American teens has confirmed that young people between the ages of 13 and 18 who drink and or use drugs are more likely to be sexually active. Dr. Gerald Eckersley is director of the Boston-based organization.
We found that this phenomenon also occurs among adults as well as every population everywhere in the world that has ever existed since the dawn of time.
The center has sent a teleprompter-ready press release of its findings to more than 400 local TV news affiliates across the U.S., along with stock video footage of beer displays and teens smoking and drinking at parties. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Johnson.
And Conan.
And we've been trying to get into this article about Alzheimer's until some idiots happened, as they tend to do when you allow people to call in to talk about whatever is on their mind. You learn very quickly that the average person has absolutely nothing worthwhile on their mind.
But by all means, if you actually want to have a conversation about anything that's not what occurred in the first hour, then by all means, break us up. We don't need to talk about this. We can talk about whatever you want to.
Well, I mean, it can even be stuff that was talked about in the first hour. They just have to be able to...
Civil.
Yeah, civil. Civil's a good way of putting it. Thank you. So, Alzheimer's.
Well, we were talking about what it was. I'm going to go through some of the symptoms real quick before we go back into that article. People with Alzheimer's have trouble doing everyday things like driving a car, cooking a meal, or paying bills. They may ask the same questions over and over, get lost easily, lose things, or put them in odd places, and find even simple things confusing. As the disease progresses, some people become worried, angry, or violent. The time from diagnosis to death varies, as little as 3 or 4 years if the person is older than 80 when diagnosed, to as long as 10 or more years if the person is younger. So there is no treatment as of yet. It's a horrible, horrible way to go. I already have a plan in action. I know what I'm going to be doing. If I get it, basically I'm going to be going up north and going bear hunting in February.
I assume that's a New England thing. I don't get it.
That's a Conan thing. That's me going out like a fighter because I don't want to go.
Yes, hello, Yogi.
I do.
Who are you? Did you bring me my picnic basket?
Did you?
Yes,
Yeah, I brought you some steaks. It's just not a way that I want to go out. I can think of a lot quicker, better ways to go out. And of course I'll get my house in order before. But yeah, bear hunting.
Okay.
In February. So back to the article. According to a study that was done in 2013. A study was just done recently. Between 2013 and 2017, there was an 83% rise in cases of Alzheimer's from all ages. And we'll actually break those ages down a little bit. Overall, early onset diagnosis increased by 200% among commercially insured Americans between the ages 30 and 64. That included a 500% jump among those 45 to 54 and 40% for those aged 55 to 64.
Now, I like how it keeps referring to people, to the increase among people who are
commercially insured.
I assume that just means there's no data on people who aren't insured because they're just going insane in their homes?
Correct. Or out of they live in a tent behind the grocery store. Or my question is, are any governmental protected health insured individuals taken into account here, or is it only private insurance?
I wouldn't expect phillyvoice.com to make a distinction between the two.
And that is a good point because these numbers might be completely wrong.
I imagine it would include governmentally insured people as well.
Okay, if that's the case, then the numbers are probably pretty accurate. The average patient was diagnosed at age 49.
Which still aren't millennials by a long shot.
No,
that's
no.
15 years outside.
Well, here, let's actually look at those numbers. So the average age is 49. The women are more likely to get it. 58% of Alzheimer's patients are women. All right, here are the actual numbers from 2013 to 2017. There was a 373% rise from age 30 to 44. So it went from 0.9 to 4.4.
That does not sound like a thing that should be ignored. I mean, that's a substantial increase.
It's a substantial increase. Now, still,
they're still more likely to die of the new coronavirus, I would think.
Oh my God, so silly. So still, 25% of Alzheimer's patients are between the ages of 55 and 64. So it's still the older boomers. Now the 45 to 54, which none of us are in, it was 2.7%, and it rose to 11%. So it was a 311% rise. The older boomers were 143% rise. So all the age groups went up. But the biggest increase was age 30 to 44, the millennials, and a little bit of extras in there too. So actually my age group is in there. So I'm 41, so I'm actually in this category.
There's strong links between Alzheimer's disease and obesity.
That
And fat.
Correct.
Because it's the clogging of the cholesterol clogging the small blood vessels in the brain, causing plaque in that results in
the plaque,
not tumors, but
and the plaque gets
polyps and
everywhere,
buildups
every part of your body.
Yeah, and
but
it gets in the brain. Well, the brain runs on cholesterol and sugar, essentially. And,
but cholesterol is bad for you, Johnson.
yeah. In this case, yeah, very, very much so. If it's in your brain.
So was it John from Canada who called and why he's moved to Keene or New Hampshire? New Hampshire is one of the lowest states for people diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So
It's one of the healthiest states in the country too.
If you go down to Florida, where all the old people are retiring, it is one of the worst
It's
states.
also one of the fattest states in the country.
And good point, because all of the southern states, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, South Carolina, are all heavily diagnosed rates.
They're also all voting for the candidate with Alzheimer's, most likely.
See if there's any other good numbers on here.
Where am I?
All right, so back to the article.
That was how I learned about roaches?
North Texas, Carolina? I mean, Texarkana. I don't even know where I am. Where?
You might have Alzheimer's. The results of this report are concerning, especially the increases in early onset dementia and Alzheimer's disease among younger people. Dr. Richard Snyder, Chief Medical Officer for the Independent Blue Cross, said in a statement, "While the underlying cause is not clear, advances in technology are certainly allowing for earlier and more definitive diagnosis is. Regardless, those who develop dementia or Alzheimer's at an early age are likely or will likely require caregiving, either from family members or healthcare providers, unless you go bear hunting in February like I plan to do. The time cost and impact on families can be significant and can require additional support as the disease progresses. Diagnosis rates were higher in the East, South, and parts of the Midwest. Women made up 58% of the diagnosis."
It does kind of concern me because it's, my age group that is essentially caving in, or not caving in, but generating these larger numbers of Alzheimer's, not infections, but whatever the word, development. So that's like something I have to worry about now. So thanks, Conan.
Hey, man, I'm trying to make you live longer.
Now I get to spend the next 2 weeks until I forget about this article entirely, worrying whether or not I'm developing Alzheimer's.
Okay, Johnson brought up a good one. You're not overweight, so you got that.
Yeah.
I have a sneaking suspicion that there are two very popular drugs that are widely used amongst this age group that weren't around when I was a youngster.
I think Reagan was on Ritalin.
Possibly.
Hello.
Or maybe Adderall
or cocaine.
But yeah, Ritalin was just coming into its place in our culture and society right around my time.
Nancy was very much against the meth.
Let's go to that
Reagan.
article. This is just a little write up from WebMD, written by Kathleen Doheny. And she says, adults with symptoms of ADHD or attention deficit hyperactive disorder are more than 3 times as likely as other adults to develop a form of dementia later in life, according to new research from Argentina. Quote, "We found a higher risk of dementia with Lewy bodies in patients with," that's a type of dementia, in patients with preceding adult ADHD symptoms, writes the researcher from Hospital Italiano Buenos Aires. The study is published in the European Journal of Neurology. And my thing is, what do ADHD people have in common? It's the drugs they take.
Not necessarily all of them, though. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
In a deal policymakers have hailed as a decisive step towards combating the rapidly escalating national debt, the United States settled 0.12% of its debt to China this week with a single autographed photograph of John Hamm. The sale of the glossy signed headshot of the acclaimed actor, which China reportedly accepted for a financial easement of approximately $150 out of America's estimated $1.3 trillion in obligations, concludes a 6-month negotiation between the two parties.
The decision was obviously not an easy one, but without question, this was the right choice for our nation's future.
And in this week's science news, a distant planet is terrified that it might be able to someday support human life. In other news, a live cow is lowered onto the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives. The majority of an office's supplies are used to apply for different jobs, and a lapsed cult member only attends sanctum on major bloodletting holidays.
This is the Onion News Network.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Johnson.
And Conan.
And you know, the way we've gotten most of the businesses here in Keene to accept cryptocurrency is with the AnyPay application. And if you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash, well, you can now earn a passive income for every purchase made at those businesses using those cryptocurrencies. So you finally have a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards instantly. There's no waiting for weeks or months for your payout or any of that nonsense. Just download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. That's anypayinc.com, and you get a cut of every single Bitcoin Cash and Dash purchase made at those businesses. So if you were to get a successful business taking these currencies and you were to drive traffic there, you could do fairly well for yourself. Again, that's anypayinc.com. Go check it out. Let's get back to the phones. We've got James calling from Arizona. James, you're on Free Talk Live.
Nicest. I'd like to expand on that with you, Aria, if I may, before I get to mention something else about, I can't imagine how bored your fellow Free Talk Live hosts must be when they're Googling the internet about my family members and posting my name and address and picture. And this goes back, you may think it's funny, but it goes back.
I think it's hilarious.
And I think, yeah, he's a complete loser that you're looking at.
No,
And
the complete
Conan,
loser is someone who spends their time calling a radio show and threatening people.
You're the one that says,
why do you have so little? What?
I'm not threatening anybody at all. Never have, never will.
Okay.
What will come true. But what
do you want to do to Jack?
You want to murder somebody?
What do you want to do to Jack? Why would you use the words curb stomp?
Oh, I'm going to hurt. I'm going to ruin his life.
I'm going to hurt. I'm going to ruin his life. I've never threatened anyone. I'm a moron. I'm the biggest moron on the planet. My name is James Whittakind. I'm a dummy.
Hey,
I'm a racist dummy. A racist little dummy.
When I find out that there is a violent individual out there who could threaten my life and the lives of my friends, of course I'm going to research him to figure out where you're at and where you're coming from, because you're dangerous, man. Seriously. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, ask me your question.
First, hey Conan, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Mark Edgington was saying I was
the egg, you dummy, dinosaurs.
Long before I ever said anything about his family. He's been saying it for years, and guess how they're doing? They're doing just fine. Like Albert Speer Jr., he's going to have his life ruined. The truth is going to really, really hurt, and it's going to be good for him.
Okay, James. Let me interject a quick question here.
Conan.
No, Conan. Let me ask you a quick question here. Okay, you're on hold now. You seem to be envious that Mark and his family are doing just fine now. So I have to ask, James, how are you doing? Go ahead.
Aria?
How are you doing, James?
Doing just fine. I don't like being lied about on the public airwaves and being doxxed and being called a racist and a loser by a man who I could break both his arms and smash his face into the ground in less than 10 seconds, and his life would be destroyed. And Conan, if you care about that
break me with one of his ears.
That is Googling the internet and talking about my family on the public airwaves, you best tell him to apologize to me profusely.
I'm happy. I am happy that he researched you. I like to know who the enemy is. You, James, are the enemy.
Just as you best tell Mark Sidney Edgington that he profusely apologize, repent, atone, and pay me for smearing me on the public airways.
Pay you?
Oh, yeah, he added pay me several months ago in his... Just suddenly, it just appeared.
Oh,
it was truly a...
Hey, Aria?
Hey, James.
Aria?
Truly a thing to behold.
With all the bile, hatred, and vitriol. I return fire, and I'm going to ruin a little kid's life that he literally shouldn't even exist. Literally. And the murdered person that Mark Edgington's murderer helped the murderer get away with, he should still be in a federal penitentiary, just like Albert Speer should have died in in Spandau.
James, are you a Christian?
If he's not, he needs it, man. He needs some.
He's a racist.
He needs something.
Jesus Christ doesn't command somebody to forgive a murderer.
No. I'm not asking you to forgive anyone, James.
I forgive you.
I'm not asking you to forgive anyone. I asked a simple question. Are you a Christian?
Jesus Christ would say to Mark Edgington, you should be in jail right now.
James, stop talking. Listen and answer the question. Are you a Christian?
Comic.
We should reach out to Peter Whittakind of Kenton Whittakind and interview him.
Who?
Peter Whittakind. I believe it's James's brother who works at an Arizona law firm. And I'd love to like ask him questions about James, just to like interview and be like, dude, what was it like growing up with this psychopath?
They probably don't want to talk about him. James, do you have relations with your family?
Oh, I'm done with him now.
Well, most of his family.
He's gone for the night.
The next time you call in, James, next time you call in, I'd like to hear more about your family life.
His parents are gone, man.
Yeah, well,
so.
you still got your siblings.
Yeah.
Are you like the black sheep? Have you been stepped on all your life? And
he's definitely the black sheep. I mean, most of his family was military. They went on to become attorneys and other military people. Well, not exactly career choices that I endorse.
Don't call him that, because he would not like that terminology, because he's a racist, so he doesn't like, referring to
I
him
don't
that way.
give a crap what James Whittakind likes.
Well, I'm just
But the reason
I'm
I
just
ask
saying
if he's a Christian is because there's a lot in the Old Testament about visiting the sins of the father onto the child. But Jesus was adamantly against that sort of thing, James. It's not a matter of forgiving Mark. It's a matter of, why are you targeting this child who has done you absolutely no wrong whatsoever? Whatever you would have to say about Jesus, he was not a fan of that.
Mm-mm.
And yes, he would ask you to forgive a murderer. So, sorry, you should probably reread that book again.
No, I'm thinking you need to establish your own individual issues. And I'm thinking it comes from the family.
I'm thinking he should just have some shotgun mouthwash, man.
You could do that too. Save us. Well, he wouldn't be exciting on this show anymore.
It would be doing himself a favor.
Doing the whole country a favor.
Yeah, but I would say that if you're going to talk about his dad, Eugene.
Eugene Whittakind.
Yes.
He was the former military guy.
Yeah, he was a major in the United States Army. He served in World War II and Korea. So I would just who knows what this guy was like,
for all we know,
celebrated, awarded soldier who was buried in Arlington National Cemetery.
He has all these.
He might have touched James as a child. Maybe that's the issue.
Excellent point. This guy has all these awards and all, but
he was a mathematics instructor.
What does that mean?
I would assume that he was a relatively intelligent individual.
And maybe when you say maybe touched was more like punched.
Oh no, I meant touched
and slapped around, or maybe both. So there could be some family issues, some serious family issues that have basically made this monster. So what do you do about that?
Those issues didn't make him into a monster. He chose to become a monster in response to whatever issues he already had, or to whatever life dealt him. He didn't have to do that. He doesn't have to be the person he is. He chooses to be.
What is it costing you in vet bills for that convenience of just pulling open a bag of
formulated, extruded, processed cereal bits that cost a ton of money anyways?
How do you feed your dog to derive not only energy, but a good coat, bright eyes, and a great attitude?
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
I found his raw meat diet on Dynovite.com with just the raw meat and the eggs and the Dynovite and the Super Omega on top of it.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
Ground beef, white rice, eggs, including the shells, and the Dynovite supplement, and then the Lico Chops.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
It just balances out his body and his mind and his spirit.
Adding Dynovite to their diet has every single dog in my kennel looking better than they have ever looked.
Their skin is so much better now that they're on the raw diet. I don't even give them the kibble anymore.
DINOVITE.com.
Excuse me, is this where I get a license to start a new business?
I wouldn't be hasty. You have to get a license to go out of business, too, you know.
Oh, well, look, I've invented this little anti-gravity machine, see?
Oh, is that why you're walking 2 inches above the floor?
Oh, yes, it's very comfortable. It saves on shoe leather.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out these forms and report to the Human Services Department of Manpower Orientation and register with the Fair Employment Practice Commission, the Wage and Hour Division of the Employment Standards Administration, the State Sales and Income Tax Division, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, and, of course, OSHA.
OSHA? I thought that was a little town in Wisconsin.
You'll find out. Say, floating around like that could be dangerous. Have you checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Well, not yet.
Come to think of it, you actually are flying, aren't you? Look, you need to go over to the Federal Aviation Administration and the Transportation...
It's very hard to get anything done these days if you're in business, but free enterprise built this country. Think what could happen if we don't keep it free. A public service of this station and the Center for the Defense of Free Enterprise, Bellevue, Washington.
We just can't have people floating about unregulated, you know.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number's 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Johnson.
And Conan.
And I've got a Liberty update for you from LibertyCon. You won't want to miss these two very special debates. First is Government Necessary, featuring David Freeman and Timothy Sandifer, one arguing that government is not necessary, the other arguing that government is necessary. Secondly, does capitalism require government intervention? Gene Epstein is going to debate Stephen Pearlstein in this one arguing against intervention and one arguing for intervention. There's also John Mackey, the Whole Foods CEO, who is going to speak on conscious capitalism. So be part of LibertyCon. It's a unique Liberty convention, April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C., for people who want to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations for career advancement or business and internship opportunities. Visit libertycon.com for more details on the incredible list of speakers, events, and student discounts. That's libertycon.com. Use code FTL for a $10 discount. So is ADHD or ADD, I don't even know what the difference is, linked in some way to Alzheimer's? That's the question we're asking here, and Conan has the article up about it. What is the difference between ADD and ADHD?
Good point. I thought they were the same thing. It's attention deficit hyperactive disorder is what ADHD is. And I don't know if there is just an it's ADD. Correct. You're absolutely right. Johnson, do you know?
ADHD?
What is ADD compared to ADHD? Are they the same thing?
Attention deficit disorder versus attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Okay, so one of them also has hyperactivity, right?
Right.
One of them super hyper energetic.
Right.
And the other just can't focus?
Yeah. So both of them are probably related to a deficiency in dopamine in the brain. And what happens with people who are dopamine-seeking people? They do things like to generate more dopamine and use up, they basically churn through dopamine a lot. And one of the activities that people who like to churn through dopamine, two things, social media and video games.
Yeah, I knew you were going there.
It's self-treating and it's like you're creating an external self-reward system.
But isn't everyone dopamine seeking in this
of
climate?
Course, all human beings are. Some people are just worse about it and churn through faster and need it. And basically, very boredom intolerant is what I would refer to it as. So I know I'm extremely boredom intolerant, and I am also diagnosed ADD. I was when I was a kid. Although when I was
boredom intolerant sounds like a positive thing, though.
It sounds like a positive thing, but it's not good if you're a human being who has a brain, because you're literally burning through your, like, humans are meant to do a lot of boredom stuff. If you think historically, what humans do with their lives, it's like, for the most part, throughout history, we've been doing things like staring at sheep wandering through a field, like watching corn grow.
Yeah, I know, right? Johnson, no. When you plant your crops, you walk away and you go have sex in the hay bale.
But
or you go feed rocks to the village girl down. I've been playing too much Stardew Valley, I think.
So it's just
So you were ADD.
Yeah, so I was prescribed Ritalin. I took it like once, and I think it was like a week or whatever that I was on this, and I was testing it out or whatever when I was in middle school. Actually, it was when I was first diagnosed and prescribed this, and I had these feelings of rage that were just coming out of nowhere. Like I would just be like walking along and then be like, just angry for no reason, and I'm like, this is horrible. I want off of this immediately.
Did your parents notice as well, or was it just you?
It was just me that noticed it. I noticed I was like experiencing emotions not linked to any reason.
Wow.
And I'm like,
hold on,
okay,
how old were you?
6th grade. What is that?
So around the age of puberty. I would say random rage is like normal. That.
Yeah, but he just starts
within the week of being prescribed Ritalin and then it going away immediately after going off of it. So
sure.
It was definitely linked to that. And I don't know. I wouldn't say I felt random rage. Probably, more like random attraction to women, but not rage at that age. Nah.
And so since then, you probably haven't tried Adderall. In your adult life, simply because of that, past experience.
I thought about it, and I was actually given some, but then I, got rid of it.
Yeah, I always wanted to just try it, see what it was like, just see what the hype is all about. And then I met someone who was taking it all the time, and I'm like, dude, you're crazy. I don't want to be anything like you. You got serious neurotic problems.
Yeah,
and we all know who this person is.
And I don't, I don't feel. It's weird. I do feel sometimes like I can't focus, but then I sometimes have really good focus. Like I can work on certain projects for a long periods of time. I just have to distract myself at regular intervals and then go back to it. So it's like kind of bouncing back and forth. But I don't know. I feel like I've developed my own means of,
which is probably the way to do it.
Yeah.
To not fake it, but to actually train yourself.
I will say though, again, I do feel like it comes back to being people who are boredom intolerant, and I do think that that's a bad thing. In fact, there are people in Silicon Valley, of course, who are like, they're going to go on these dopamine diets or dopamine fasting is what it's called, dopamine fasting. So it's literally taking away computers and phones and video games and social media and whatever else.
So they're recreating the Catholic tradition of Lent.
Maybe, but the idea is to spend a significant amount of time being bored. And then what that does is it allows your brain to kind of refresh and kind of detox from constant tiny dopamine hits. Facebook is kind of responsible for this. Like you're constantly being hit with a little dopamine rush. I gotta like a social reaction. People are just seeking this, especially in younger generations, constantly getting hit with these little dopamine hits. And it's there's a lot of research to suggest that this isn't necessarily good for you. In terms of it's messing with people's reward functions in their brain and really messing with people's ability to properly be motivated to do things that are a lot more meaningful.
And it might actually cause cognitive deterioration later on in life.
Yeah, they could be linked to Alzheimer's and we don't even know it. Yeah.
Well, according to this study, this Argentina study, people with ADHD are 3 times more likely to form some sort of dementia later in life.
Well, didn't you say that ADHD is linked to having dopamine problems in the first place? I mean, so their brain chemistry is already screwed up in some way.
Well, I mean, and that's a really good question. What the hell is ADHD, and is it even real? Because you can't see it with brain scans.
I mean, what Johnson describes as boredom being boredom
intolerant.
Yeah. See, I was thinking he used aversion, and then I was trying to find a different form of that word. That sounds normal.
Exactly. Hey, I'm very happy that I was born when I was and not later in life, because I would have been that kid.
See, I wouldn't have been, but I don't spend any moment of my day being bored. If I'm bored, I will pick up a book, or I will pick up my guitar, or I will pick up a video game controller. Or
no, I mean, I was the hyperactive kid. I was the one who got
that's ADHD
paddled.
though. We're talking ADD and
right. But I'm thinking
boredom.
But aren't they
intolerance?
Basically the same thing? They both have the same.
No, one is boredom intolerance plus hyperactivity.
But they both get Ritalin.
They both can.
Yeah.
But Johnson wasn't on Ritalin.
He tried it for a week and didn't like it. He was about to turn into the Hulk and start punching people. No good. I'm glad I wasn't all doped up as a kid, and I had just fresh air and forests to run through.
This is Free Talk Live.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits, at mypatriotsupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at mypatriotsupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. mypatriotsupply.com.
I'm here with Scott Useum, founder of OMG Tax. Tell us how your company helps our listeners out there who have a problem with the IRS.
My team of lawyers, enrolled agents, and licensed tax experts remove wage garnishments sometimes in the same day. We even have reduced the total debt some of our clients were required to pay through what is known as an offer in compromise.
Can you give us an example of somebody you help?
Oh, can I ever? We have taken a $500,000 liability with the IRS. Guess what? The client didn't pay a dime through the representation known as non-collectible status with the government.
If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and you want to see if it's possible to pay a lot less, call OMG Tax right now for a free tax-saving consultation.
Call 800-486-8112. 800-486-8112. 800-486-8112. That's 800-486-8112.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Conan.
And the Super Tuesday results are evidently in, it would seem.
100% or just pieces, fragments?
Just fragments, but that's not stopping people from declaring winners here. Bernie Sanders winning Vermont with 47%. I get why they would call that one. You know,
yeah.
It's his home state. And Virginia with 97% reporting. Okay, go ahead and call that one. But here you have North Carolina, 6% reporting Joe Biden won. Now, I don't know about the county makeup of these places and how they do things, but it seems like they may be calling that one a little bit too early.
And unless they know something we don't.
Here's another, Maine. It's not called, sorry. Alabama, Joe Biden won, 1% reporting. Joe Biden won, they said. I don't even know what to say. It sounds completely and totally useless, which, you know, in general politics is. So we've been talking about ADD and ADHD here on the show. And as we were discussing during the break, I'm still not convinced that boredom intolerance is a bad thing. Because I spend almost every minute of every day doing something, and most of it is productive.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you are bored at any time, I'm thinking that's a sign that something's not right, that you need to go be fulfilled. You need to go find something in your life to keep you busy, to keep you active, to get you out there breathing fresh air and meeting new people and whatnot. I think it's a symptom of a bad lifestyle.
I would agree. Boredom taught me how to play the guitar. Boredom caused me to write several books. Boredom caused me to start doing podcasts and to start a blog that ultimately led to me being here on Free Talk Live. Also a result of boredom when I took up doing Call to Freedom every day. All of these are not results of boredom, but results of wanting to eliminate boredom.
Exactly. I think it's a good thing. And I think if you take that away chemically, I think you have only done yourself harm. Yeah. Turned yourself basically into a little drone, little sheep, a little mindless drone who, you know, follows orders, raises his hand to miss teachers so I can use the bathroom.
So is that what these ADD and ADHD drugs do? Is they make people okay with being bored?
I've never taken them. I really don't know. I know that
I've never been diagnosed with having ADD, but I'm as averse to boredom as a person can get.
Yeah, we were talking about what the difference is. Basically, ADD is just, they're the same thing, except one, you have little fidgeting and squirming. So you're boredom intolerant, but you also can't sit still because you're just so bored. You got to get out there and start doing things. If I had ever been diagnosed, which thankfully I wasn't, I would have had the hyperactivity part because I was the guy who was all over the place squirming, and no one liked me. I had a couple teachers that liked me, and I finally got over it. I mean, it wasn't that bad. Once I started getting to the teenage years, I had other problems. I had other problems then.
Well, we all did.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The ones who weren't all drugged up.
I mean, most of the kids that I remember as having ADD and ADHD and things like that, they were more often than not on the more intelligent side of things, and they were bored in school. Of course, I was bored in school as well, but I was better behaved, I guess, at least during that particular part of my life. It wasn't until like my freshman year of high school that I really went off the rails and started smoking behind the building and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But even then, that wasn't like acting out in class. It was, no, screw you and your stupid rules. I'm going to do what I want. And then they implemented uniforms. You can imagine how well that went for someone who was used to wearing Jinko and kickwear and trip. Yeah, let's implement uniforms here. This is going to go well. So, Johnson, you are of the mind that boredom intolerance is a negative thing.
Possibly.
Okay.
I don't really know. It feels like a negative thing. It feels like people
should
be able to be bored and, okay with it.
I don't know why, because finding ways to fill one's time with productive or even unproductive things seems like a good use of one's time. All the better if they're productive, but I play video games just like anyone else, and that's not productive.
Now, what did you find, Johnson, that said video games, you said it just increased dopamine levels, but it's not actually, you don't think it's a cause of Alzheimer's? Because I always thought the best thing you can do, of course, according to the studies, but I mean, who knows, what Alzheimer's really is and how it's caused and whatnot. But the best thing to do is to stay active, to be reading, to be playing puzzles, Sudoku, Scrabble. Keeping your mind active is the best way to prevent it. And I'm telling you, man, when I play a video game, I am more active than ever.
All right. Well, I guess I'll make this my prep and just go into a story then about this thing. Is there actually science behind dopamine fasting? The trendy concept of dopamine fasting actually finds its roots in established addiction therapies. Dopamine fasting may be Silicon Valley's latest wellness trend, but
aren't human beings like biologically designed to become addicted to? I mean, isn't that like the focal point of human existence, to find a way to get dopamine and beat it into the ground?
Yeah, but if this
isn't that why humans have sex?
It's exceedingly easy to do this now.
But yes, if it was caveman days, we would always fighting to get that next rush. Right. And fight off the grizzly at the same time, or the woolly mammoth. But now, it's a button click. I can get 100 different ways to pop my dopamine by a couple of button clicks.
So we just replaced having lots and lots of sex with playing lots and lots of video games.
Or
because I'm going to say that humans
hundreds of things, man. I can think of 100 things to do right now.
See, because I don't know that the caveman playing with sticks in the dirt,
and
or
I don't
whatever,
know that there was more sex going on historically than there is nowadays. I would say that it's probably the reverse is true.
I don't know, but I mean, speaking of how human beings generally acquire dopamine, there weren't as many obvious options then, but I was actually about to change that.
But you
because
have to remember,
hold on, because the caveman did wall drawings or played in the dirt with a stick or whatever.
If they had spare time,
getting the exact same dopamine rush, or the shepherd watching his sheep out there and playing in the grass, would create little games of it and get the same dopamine rush as you playing World of Warcraft.
No, that's inaccurate.
It is absolutely accurate.
No, and also when you bring up something like
we just
sex,
changed the way that we get the dopamine, but humans have always been after that rush
to a certain extent. But what you're talking about is first of all, major dopamine hits, something like sex or food or something like that, can result in a major, dopamine rush.
But you have to work for it.
Tiny minor dopamine rushes.
So the shepherd is like flicking pebbles or whatever to see if he can get them to land on this stump.
Yeah,
he's created a little game and he gets little dopamine hits every time he succeeds.
Key word, little ones, little tiny ones. And he
same little ones you get from Facebook.
And he has to work for it. I know, but that's just a button click away.
But it's still work. It's a different type of work, but pressing that button is still work, just like flipping that little pebble is.
I think a check mark next to someone thumbs upping one of my posts is a much bigger dopamine hit than me playing solitaire with myself.
That's push versus pull.
What?
Explain.
So a Facebook, something that's coming from an external source, is a push, not a pull. In other words, if you're going to play a game and you're choosing to go do that on your own, right? You're choosing to pull that activity, you're
choosing to go on Facebook to see that you have.
Yeah, but most people are not necessarily choosing to go on Facebook. They're just doing it because it's a routine.
Okay, so
because it feels good.
Sure.
Could the shepherd not flip rocks onto the stump for exactly the same reason?
But again, it's pull versus push.
Well, they're bringing up Facebook. They're making the choice to bring up Facebook.
But most people aren't consciously really making that choice. They're just doing it.
Because of the dopamine rush.
Well, maybe.
And you could just as easily have the shepherd out there flipping stones
You're
out
not
of
going
habit.
to be out there right when you're lying in. You're not going to be lying in bed throwing stones across your room.
If I didn't have Facebook, I probably would.
But candlelight at night, in your bed, going, I'm going to throw stones into a thing.
You mock that like it's silly, but kids during the Victorian eras and things like that, they would commonly lay in bed playing games with this. That's how Truth or Dare got invented.
Yeah, there's going to be certain levels of that. But okay, maybe you didn't grow up in the 80s. It was a boring time. I don't know if you were aware of
it. It was
this,
no more or less boring than any other time.
Well, you're a
People
lucky
just found
child.
other ways
you had a real good childhood.
But Johnson, in the 80s, we had to build those forts. Yeah. We had to, break into sweat and go out there and get dirty.
I don't know anybody else, but I remember time before the internet. It was awful.
And in Fortnite, you have to build your own forts. Same with Minecraft.
Terrible.
This is Free Talk
time.
Live.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary? And does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on libertycon.com. Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,641, silver at $17.23, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,779. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Cibola County, New Mexico Sheriff Tony Mace says he and other sheriffs from around the state are meeting with attorneys this week as they get ready to file suit over the state's new red flag law, signed last week by the governor. During the signing ceremony, the governor said that sheriffs who aren't prepared to enforce the new law should resign. But Sheriff Mace and other sheriffs are taking the matter to court instead. Mace said that the sheriffs will be holding meetings with several different attorneys over the next few weeks to discuss litigation strategies before filing suit to block the law from taking effect. Activist Post reports that in addition to the constitutional issues at stake, there's also the pragmatic argument against red flag laws. As Sheriff Mace points out, when someone has been deemed by a court to be a danger to themselves or others, the law gives the individual in question 48 hours to turn over their guns. And of course, once the firearms are seized, the dangerous person is left to their own devices. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared a public health emergency this week after 2 people in the state tested positive for coronavirus. One of the sick residents is an adult with no clear link to the countries where the virus is widespread, leading some to believe there are many other cases and carriers in the state that have not yet been tested. The Mind Unleashed reports health officials are also putting contacts of those patients into quarantine as a matter of precaution because the virus is so contagious. One of the people in quarantine for that reason happens to be a student whose classmates shook hands with Vice President Mike Pence last week. On Friday, just days after being named by Donald Trump as the head of the Outbreak Response Task Force, Pence was at a Sarasota Military Academy in Florida, shaking hands with cadets and posing for photographs. The student, who was at risk, was in quarantine and not at the event with Pence. But a coronavirus patient was mere points of unprotected contact away from the President of the United States. Amazon says it has pulled more than 1 million products for price gouging or for falsely advertising effectiveness against the coronavirus. Activist Post reports the company in a statement said that it has always required sellers provide accurate information on product pages and removes those that violates its policies. Amazon said that third-party sellers must follow its fair pricing policy, which states companies can't set a price significantly higher than seen in other places, or sell an item that misleads customers. The removal comes after Wired found sellers gouging the prices of coronavirus-related products, like face masks, or charging people exorbitant shipping costs, according to the magazine. In one instance, the publication found a seller with face masks for as much as 5 times their normal price. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
This is William Chambers. Now a retired insurance salesman, Chambers is just one of over 95% of grandfathers who, according to a new report from the Center of Business Intelligence, secured their first and only job by walking right up to the owner of a business and asking for a position right then and there.
I slammed my fist on the desk and said, "I'm your man." He stood right up He shook my hand and he said, "You come in first thing Monday morning."
According to the report, nearly 36% of grandfathers claim that they found employment by entering a local business with nothing but a nickel in their pockets and a shirt on their backs. 24% saw a fine-looking marquee for a business and said, "Someday my name's going to be on that sign." And 40% of grandfathers said they snuck into the CEO's office and said, "Mr. McKinley, sir, I'm your guy."
It just took gumption. You didn't need some fancy internship. Looking the boss dead in the eye and showing him you were a man. That was your internship.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. Call in to talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Johnson.
And Conan.
And are either of you going to Fork Fest this year?
Negative. I got animals.
Really?
I got animals to take care of.
I have animals too, but they're coming with me.
I don't think people want me bringing 20 chickens and eight rabbits and 2 cats.
See, I have 2 cats, and they'll just chill in the hotel room, eagerly waiting on me to come back by so they can.
I don't get
climb on top of
vacation
me.
time from my job, so it's would be too costly for me to do that because I'm planning a different vacation that's way better. this
new game you're playing? Is it your vacation?
No.
What is the new game?
Something
you're
about
playing?
Mars?
Surviving Mars. No, that's definitely not my vacation. But
I'm going to Vegas at the end of May.
That's what I'm doing, actually.
Oh, really?
In August.
Okay, much later than I am.
Yes.
Well, see, I can do my work while at Vegas and Fork Fest.
Yeah.
Fork Fest might be hit or miss because the signal there is really bad. It might be kind of hard to sell Bitcoin there.
Yeah.
But if the money's there, I can.
You guys been
solve that
practicing
problem.
your blackjack skills, your card counting?
I've actually gone to Vegas before, and I made so much money we ended up staying longer when we did this, just by playing it safe.
And was it not chance games, but like card
blackjack
games
specifically? And I wasn't counting cards or anything like that. It was just there's like a book. There's like doing things by the book where you just play very safely.
Right.
If you do that, and then there are 2 things I attribute the fact that I was just consistently winning to, which was playing it extremely safe in the bets that I was making and sitting at only full tables because that stacks the odds against the dealer. If there are more people at the table, their odds of the dealer winning are a little bit lower.
Interesting.
Spread out.
Did they send you lots of drinks? Try to get you drunked?
And that I also attributed the fact that I'm mostly a teetotaler. I don't really drink, so I would just kind of say
they just couldn't win.
I just had a drink and just sip.
So for those who don't want to go to Vegas and risk losing a lot of money, Fork Fest is coming up June the 29th until July the 5th in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. If you're planning an event, because you can do whatever you want for the most part at Fork Fest. There's no ticket cost. Everything is decentralized. No one is in charge, so everyone is in charge. But if you're planning an event for Fork Fest, let others know in advance. You can connect with other Fork Festers via the unofficial Telegram chat or the Fork Fest forum. Links to those are on the unofficial website, forkfest.party. Again, that's forkfest.party. I'm actually not a big gambler.
I'm not
Because
either.
I used to work
playing,
as a slot tech, and I know exactly how rigged they are.
Right.
And it's true for card games as well.
And I
just
was
don't have...
playing blackjack at extremely low dollar bet table, like $1 and $2 bets that over the course of, a day or 2 days, making, I think it was like $500 or $600. So we're not talking huge amounts of money here that I was, that I racked in. It was just enough to stay a little bit longer in Vegas.
And to be honest, you also got lucky with that strategy because all following those strategies really do is reduce the house chances to like 1%.
Right, exactly.
Or the house advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're not typically going to win if you're gambling there.
But speaking of dopamine,
yeah,
exactly, right? Yeah, exactly. And my thought with and I actually do like card games too, like blackjack and Texas Hold'em. But my thought is, if I'm going to play those games, I'm not playing to gamble. I'm playing to play and I want to make sure that I'm not spending more money than I would if I were doing some kind of equally entertaining activity like going to a movie or going out and seeing some kind of show or comedy or something.
Well,
so
that's going to be
for
hard.
me, I want it to be. I'm like willing to lose about $20 an hour. Maybe.
And isn't that the rule, not to spend money that you don't have? So like, all right,
Yeah.
I have $20.
Yeah.
If I can make $600 off of this 20, it's okay, but I will not dip below this 20.
Right,
Those are
exactly.
the rules.
Yeah, sure.
And if I go over, you get girlfriend behind you and she's pull your hair.
You also don't want to go over and like, you sit down, here's $20. It's gone. That's awful. You want that $20 you want to bet in a way that $20 is going to last at least like an hour, an hour or 2 hours, because that's what you would spend if you went to a movie, right? So at least that's my thought. That's how I play because I don't want to just sit down and watch $20 disappear.
You have at it.
Yeah.
Gambling, it makes me ill. It makes me physically ill. I cannot. I can't.
It's one of those things where any kind of risk, you're just like freaked out.
Yeah, if it's uncontrollable risk. Now, I mean, if it's an old junker that's $200, I'm like, all right, well, this is a gamble. I can fix it if it breaks down.
There's no
but
risk to me on that because it doesn't feel like gambling because I know that I'm not going to spend more than that. So it's like if I'm sitting down going with the mindset that the money's gone. Like I'm going into it the mindset that I'm going to burn this money. Hopefully it's going to last me an hour or two to burn this money.
Yep.
And that if I win money, then that's all I'm getting is like I'm either going to win money or I'm not going to win money. But in the meantime, I'm sitting down to be entertained for an hour or two, and I'm paying for that. Or
I always
I'm not.
look at it as the cost of drinks when
Right.
I go to casinos.
Yeah, sure.
Because you can get very drunk very
Yeah.
quickly. And it doesn't cost you anything except
Right.
tipping the server, ideally.
Right.
And, it's cheaper than going, not here in Keene. Here in Keene,
No.
you can take like $40 to a bar and get way more drunk than you can. But in Las Vegas, you're not going to
Right.
find a bar where you can do that.
Right.
But take $40 into a casino, you can get hammered in like 2 hours. And you just might leave with more money than you came in with. You don't expect it.
Yeah, exactly.
I go there to drink.
Right.
This is my drinking money here. And it works.
And they will, keep it coming to you. They will keep it flowing.
As long as you keep gambling, they will keep bringing you drinks until you vomit and they have to ask you to leave.
The thing is just make small bets and go as slow as you possibly can.
Yeah. Which
All
is
right, so
another
let's-
reason why slot machines are so bad, because they burn through money so quickly.
So let's talk about this dopamine fasting. So this whole like Silicon Valley fad thing.
people are actually doing this.
Yeah. So
isn't it kind of just like going off grid for a week or something? Or
here's the thought. It says, during a so-called dopamine fast, extreme practitioners abstain from any experience that brings them pleasure, including but not limited to sex, food, exercise, social media, video games, and talking, according to Vox.
Whoa.
I would go without talking, sure. But the rest of that, no.
Wait, food? So what, you can only eat unsalted, unsweetened oatmeal?
Yeah,
you
probably.
have to sit in a chair and look at a white wall all day long, and you can't do it. How horrible is all this?
This sounds like Lent.
Some people go so far as to avoid making eye contact.
This is 40.
chatting
This
with
is 40
friends.
days in the desert type of nonsense.
Yeah. Or performing moderately fast movements, all in an effort to avoid stimulation, the New York Times reported. So Vox and the New York Times have reported this. Taking a break from sins and small pleasures, fasters attempt to reset the brain's reward system, a network wired in part by chemical called dopamine. After a fast, they report feeling more focused and finding more joy in the activities that they've avoided, according to Business Insider.
How long is a normal fast?
I don't know.
A day? 3 days? A week?
I don't know. Probably a week, I would think.
15 minutes? 15 minutes might be perfect for some people out
Maybe.
there. Some of these posters.
Despite its supposed benefits and good intentions, dopamine fasting has stirred up controversy. Dr. Cameron Seppa, a psychologist who helped popularize dopamine fasting, has argued that some people have pushed the practice to an unfounded extreme and attracted attention from clickbait journalists bent on mocking Silicon Valley. Meanwhile, some recent news articles have argued that the trend oversimplifies the role of dopamine in the brain to the point of being inaccurate. There's a tweet here from Bethany Brookshire that says, just because rich dudes in white Silicon because some rich white dudes in Silicon Valley do it doesn't mean it's smart or makes sense at all. Dopamine fasting is 1, illogical, 2, massively neuroscientifically ill-informed, and 3, not worth media coverage, let alone the New York Times.
Wait, what's up with that comment?
And there's a link to a New York Times article, apparently.
What do you mean?
She's like, just because rich white dudes do it doesn't mean it's right. But no one listens to rich white dudes.
Anybody on Twitter isn't gross. There's probably
like the whole world.
It's 2020. No one except Bernie Sanders.
The entire United States listens to rich old white dudes, whether they take the form of Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden.
Yes, if they're the president, but if they're us, no one's listening to me. It's 2020, man.
Are you a rich old white dude?
Not yet.
Well, then you're not wealthy enough or old enough. I presume you're white and dude enough. So
maybe.
It's got to be one of those.
Does your dog
things.
itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
You know how annoying it is when someone keeps stopping mid-sentence as though he or she were asking you a series of questions? Avoid doing that. It sounds unnervingly tentative, and it imposes upon the listener to help you complete the thought. And if you're a job seeker, this alone could be a deal killer. An effective communicator sounds more confident. Complete the thought. Avoid making the listener impatient. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. Cutting through the clutter rather than blending into the blah, blah, blah will help you connect better no matter what the conversation. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook. Survivalspeech.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Johnson.
And Conan.
And I don't know if anyone has checked the stats recently, but the government kind of sucks at managing money. And, they can kind
suck
of...
at everything.
Yeah, but they can kind of just sort of destroy your retirement savings and bail themselves out in the process. And still... not even come close to actually cutting into the $23 trillion debt they've created or the unfunded liabilities that come in at $127 trillion.
And up, maybe.
And you can get away from all of this by building a plan that Tom Young, the author and founder of the CFO project, can help you put together. He can help you create strategies now to save money without penalties and with as little government involvement as possible. His new book, The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project, will show you exactly how to build wealth and eliminate debt at the same time. Get your free copy now at cfoproject.com. Invest in yourself and your family today. Again, that's cfo-project.com. So head on over and get your free copy of The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project. And we're talking about this, it seems strange to me, this idea of, let's call it what it is. It's Lent. I don't see any distinction between it may be in fact be an extreme version of Lent because as I understand the Catholic tradition, they just give up one thing.
Yeah, but isn't Lent like sacrifice? Whereas this is actually more of a spiritual
sacrifice,
healthy. It's more of a health benefit if it's actually doing what they say that it does.
Well, so is Lent if you are Catholic and you believe it.
How many
makes
really
you spiritually healthier?
Yeah, but how many people really believe it, or they're just doing it because that's what we do?
I see no reason. I'm not going to start doubting the sincerity of people's beliefs that they say they're sincerely believed. To me, that just leads down a bad road.
Well,
if they say they believe it, I'm going to assume they believe it.
Well, and these people, these dopamine fasters, believe that it works, and so they're
sure. Well, I mean, people believe essential oils will save them from coronavirus too,
or cure their cancer.
Well, Live Science supposedly dug into the issue here. They say to clear up any confusion, Live Science spoke with Live Science spoke with experts about the neurobiology of addiction, tried and tested therapeutic practices, and the many roles of dopamine in the brain. The take-home message is that dopamine fasting, though perhaps poorly named, grew out of established methods in addiction therapy and may be beneficial if executed properly. First of all, what does dopamine do? First and foremost, dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical passed between neurons, like handwritten notes between school children. Neighboring neurons pass these notes through intricate networks in the brain. By exchanging neurotransmitters, brain cells work together to process information and direct behavior, according to brainfacts.org. Many brain networks rely on dopamine to function properly, including a collection of brain structures seated in the center of the organ known as the mesolimbic reward pathway. This evolutionarily ancient pathway helps control our response to rewards like food, sex, and drugs, according to the Incon School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. From this pathway, dopamine ventures out to other brain regions that shape our memory, expectations, emotions, and reactions about rewards. Although often described as a feel-good chemical, dopamine doesn't work by triggering feelings of pleasure and happiness in the brain's reward center. Michael Treadway, a clinical psychologist and neuroscientist at Emory University, told Live Science. This is still hotly debated, but I think most dopamine researchers today would agree that dopamine is not about pleasure, Treadway said. Instead, dopamine may be more about motivation, the willingness to expend effort to reach goals and gain rewards, he said.
How is that not about pleasure?
It's both. It's both motivating and pleasurable.
Maybe.
I mean, that's the way it works. I mean, you kill that monster and you get some gold and the chime goes off and you level up. So you've gained ground and you get
and you're motivated to do it because you want the reward.
Correct. And it would be the same thing if you got that raise at work because you're working 60 hours a week and you're trying to climb up the ladder and you get that raise and that's the dopamine hit right there.
So the idea is that, for example, maybe people who get these, this constant drip of dopamine from Facebook and then are demotivated by having that constant reward of dopamine might then also not be willing to then get up and go to the gym, for example, because their reward is...
Why is going to the gym inherently better than sitting on Facebook?
You get the dopamine from that workout, but you've got to work to get it.
But again, you have to work to post a meme to get the likes. It's just a different kind of work.
But it's so much easier. It's just button clicks.
It's junk food.
Why does that matter?
It's junk food
because
dopamine.
It's too easy.
My point is you're making qualitative assessments that one of these is better than the other.
People are making qualitative assessments.
And I'm asking why. Why is going to the gym better than sitting on your phone using Facebook?
Because one makes you fat and die sooner, and the other one makes you
healthy.
Why
is that a bad thing?
Well,
if that's the kind of lifestyle this person leads, why are you trying to keep them alive?
But that would be the individual assessment of the person who feels like they are making bad decisions because they are dopamine saturated.
So let's not make the statement then that it's some sort of implied objective truth that going to the gym. Let me finish. Let's not make
objective truth to the people who are like,
is not.
Wow, I'm really screwed by what I'm doing with my time that's injecting dopamine into me. I need to take a dopamine fast. I think it is their objective reality.
That is literally subjective because they are literally subjects.
But it's their own
subjective experience and determination, yes. But what I'm getting at here is that both of you are asserting that going to the gym is somehow inherently and objectively better.
That's not what I'm saying.
No.
You're both implying it. And when challenged on it, you're backing down from it.
We were asking what the difference was. They're both dopamine hits. I go work an hour. I'm going to feel really good. Not that
you're going to feel really good if you sit on Facebook posting likes too.
But
you're looking down on one while praising the other. Why?
We're talking about which one's easier to do.
Why does making it easy make it bad?
Because posting a meme in a second that you didn't even create, just with a couple of button clicks, and you get the same satisfaction as going out and working an hour.
But you already said you get a bigger, better dopamine hit from going out and working out for an hour.
They might be the same. They might be the exact same level. I'm saying one you have to work for, and that makes it all different.
But you're still working when you download and share the meme.
But if I can do
it's just a different kind of work.
If I can do it in 15 seconds, it's the level that took me to get to that dopamine hit was so much easier, and I probably gained some pounds doing it.
Are you like one of these people that like thinks that there's not like things that are healthier for you? Like, if you go out and you get a burger at Burger King, or you go and
plenty
eat
of things
salad,
are healthier and
one's
unhealthier.
not healthier than the other.
Plenty of things are healthier and unhealthier. I'm saying that it really doesn't matter. It's false to say that eating healthy is objectively better than eating.
Oh, hey.
Hi. I have nihilism tattooed on me.
I think I'm not about to go dopamine fasting, but I think that the way that you get your dopamine hits every day does matter. And Facebook clicks versus pumping iron is two different worlds, and one is better than the other.
On what do you make that assessment?
We'll talk about it in the next segment.
855-450-3733.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Don't miss this year's Liberty Con with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on libertycon.com.
Free Talk Live.
Because I think it corrupts people over time. I mean, I don't think a homosexual is not going to be perverted in 5 minutes to turn to bestiality. But over generations, if they're having children, I believe over generations, it will pervert.
I'm pretty certain that being gay is not a choice because I think I'd make that choice, right? Like, my biggest problem with gay people is that I'm, like, jealous of them. Like, they have that Grindr app, like, they just go on their smartphone and get laid.
Yeah,
and
Derek
like,
is on that thing all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that. I'm so envious of this, but I'm like, I gag when I brush my teeth. Like, I just couldn't do it, you know, and so... I made him laugh.
Wait, doesn't that mean he's perverted if he laughed at that joke?
You're laughing at a sick joke, sir. You're perverting society. You are responsible for the downfall of this country. It's all Karl Marx from here, thanks to you, pal.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
And Johnson.
And Conan.
And the next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw it directly to your bank account. But there's no need to wait, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes that allows anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more about it at divvyproject.org. That's DIVI project.org. Now, before we went out to the break, Conan, you promised that you would outline your reasons that going to the gym is better than sitting on Facebook getting likes.
As far as my personal achievement, my results, my beneficial results that make me a better person, yes, absolutely. Anything that's going anything that's going to make me live longer, anything that's going to put more money in my wallet, anything that's going to make my family happier. These are all, which by the way, posting memes in my Facebook family group, could be beneficial. But the workout, the running 3 miles and catching my wind and getting that dopamine, or working for an hour at the gym, pumping some iron, it's going to be beneficial for me long term, and it's going to be better for me.
Because you value living longer and being healthier.
And being healthy.
What if someone doesn't value those things, though?
Well, my question would be, why don't you value health? Why are you so obsessed with?
Because they value the dopamine hit more.
Why are you so obsessed with thumbs ups from people?
Either way, it's either they're getting it from doing an activity that would be physically healthy, or they're going to get it by doing an activity that is lacking in creativity and is just basically meaningless wastes of time. I mean, you could get a dopamine hit from
their point of view,
creating a meme and being creative.
Because from their point
artistic.
of view, you can't just make a blanket statement like that and not be challenged on it. Because from their point of view, going out and running for 3 miles is a meaningless waste of time.
I am making a blanket
because he's going to die just like they are.
I am making a blanket statement. So I would say that, for example, you're arguing from nihilism, and I don't want to go too far into that, because arguing nihilism to me is like arguing with a vegan. It's like somebody who's just like, they're gonna tell me, what their worldview is. But to me,
no, I'm going to tell you the limitations of your worldview.
The meaning of life is subjective, right?
Yeah.
But there are things that are generally considered by different people to be more valuable to. Even individuals will acknowledge this within themselves. There's creative pursuits, there's health pursuits, there's intellectual pursuits, right?
Financial
pursuits.
Sure, but agreement by the masses doesn't indicate truth in any way, shape, or form.
But I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that there are not many people that say, "Man, I really value when I myself and others spend time on Facebook scrolling. That guy scrolled for 12 hours yesterday. Amazing. amazing gift to humanity. This guy with a scroll wheel on his mouse."
And by the way, I go with the same argument on gaming. I game, but I know that there comes a time and place where I need to get off my butt and go do some workout in the yard or something, because I know because it's not real. Because it feels good, it's fun, but it's not real. It's not actually making me a better person, unless I was, say, playing competitively and thousands of people were watching me play. Maybe I was a Twitch guy who was making money, making off of hits.
People used to make the argument that video games was a completely useless, hobby, that you're just wasting your time. And maybe someday there will be competitive Facebook scrollers. I don't know. It happened with video games. People now can make entire careers where their entire life is made around that. So who knows? The future might have meme creator as a job. It could be a thing. It's probably, we're already heading that direction. Social media,
it kind of already is
advertising.
A thing. There are social network management firms.
Exactly.
That do that sort of thing.
You never know what the future holds on this type of stuff. So, yes, everybody's values are subjective, but I think right now, as time currently stands, probably not the most effective use of anyone's time.
I think if you
That's the blanket statement that I'm making.
If you asked 100 people on the street, what they should be rather doing, running 3 miles, or if they even can run that far, or spending an hour on Facebook looking at kitty memes.
Yeah, but here you run into the massive disconnect between a person's stated desires and their actual desires.
They would rather spend an hour on Facebook scrolling.
Yeah, but they won't say that because
of course they won't, because they know
because it's so stigmatized.
It should be, and it should
whether or
be.
not they would support Donald Trump. We didn't actually get the results of that until people went into the booth, because it was so stigmatized for someone to be a Trump supporter.
Well, there's other things is that some things are easier to do than others. Some things actually require more effort, and it's just like junk food. It's easier to eat the junk food than it is to put in the time and commitment to sit and eat salads constantly and not be drawn into these things. Some of these things are, and that's why it's
So do you subscribe to the labor theory of value?
Addiction. There's addiction.
It sounds like when it comes to dopamine, you do.
Why is that? Because I believe
the more labor someone puts into something, the better it is that they get dopamine from it.
I said some things are addictive and some things are not addictive. So there's addictive behaviors, which is what this dopamine thing is about.
Going to the gym can absolutely be an addictive behavior.
Yeah, I could say that that's true, and some people do take it to an unhealthy level, right?
Yep, they certainly do.
But that's the whole thing about the science of addiction is it's when something becomes harmful, right? That's when it starts to become an addictive behavior. When someone's doing something that they understand is harmful to themselves, but they do it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's addictive.
And
that's and especially when it's something addicted to dopamine.
And by the way, we keep comparing exercising versus an hour on Facebook. And I keep saying you do get dopamine hits from exercising.
Yeah,
but you get so many more tiny little microbursts of dopamine when you're clicking on things.
I'm talking about maybe somebody's creative and they could be, instead of being on Facebook, they could be sitting down and writing the next great novel, or creating a masterpiece sculpture or painting.
Well, what does it even have to be a masterpiece? Maybe they're just creating garbage.
Sure. Well, I mean, and practicing that's something that's probably more productive than scrolling.
but
even reading,
scrolling and clicking
rather than just reading garbage on Facebook.
Scrolling and clicking is very addictive to some people, and they really get so much out of it. And that's why they don't go and do other things that could be more beneficial to their lives or their families or their friends or just their lives in general. It's just it can't be pleasurable. I admit it. It's probably something we should all be off of.
So why is reading a book better than reading Facebook?
I'm not saying qualitatively that it always is. Some books are garbage. I'm just saying that there's probably some activities that people could be doing that they're not, that might be better for them, that they're not because they're addicted. They're choosing this addictive behavior instead.
All right, Johnson, what are you starting your dopamine fast? So you can report back and tell us how it is.
I'm not.
Could be, and I didn't get because I have another study that I was looking at, and it could be anything from like an hour, just taking a walk, or it can be like a 10-day retreat on some island where you just sit there and meditate with a bunch of other crazy people. Yes, I said it. But I think there's substance to this, but I do it on a regular basis. I went running the other day, so there was,
I think there's always substance to delayed gratification.
There was 30 minutes of me with myself, just thinking and running, and in the nice. It's cool. It's warming up a little bit here, but I mean,
there's always.
When we come back, we should address this from the scientists' behavior who invented this dopamine fasting.
I tend to agree. What are your thoughts? Should one refrain from activities that bring them pleasure? Let us know, 855-450-3733, or you can use the Discord call-in lines, or join the chat there, and you can find that at discord.freetalklive.com. That's discord.freetalklive.com.
This is Fred.
Hi, I'm Fred.
Fred's a repeater.
I tend to repeat.
Fred has a business.
I do have a business.
And a problem. Fred repeats the same tired advertising over and over, and now it doesn't work.
Over and over.
But Fred is about to see a vision.
I'm seeing a vision.
Advertising on the Genesis Communications Network is the smart way for Fred to reach his potential customers with the most affordable national advertising rates, period. Get started today with GCN, the Genesis Communications Network. Just email advertise@gcnlive.com.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Introducing Reveal from GCNlife.com. Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman invented Reveal, which contains polypeptides with natural botanicals and no parabens, sulfates, silicones, or dyes for a salon-quality hair growth product. Reveal. Here's Dr. Newman.
I have treated a lot of patients who lose their hair and they lose their confidence. We've created a unique set of polypeptides, which we call HPT6. The HPT6 contains contains the polypeptides from 6 different plants. The scalp infusion treatment should be used on wet or dry scalp. The Reveal hair care system is designed to be used for men and women alike.
Get Reveal at GCNlife.com with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try Reveal today at GCNlife.com or 844-443-6637. Plus a discount up to 25% off for Reveal at GCNlife.com or 844-443-6637.
We've all seen and perhaps use the alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Have you noticed how it dries your skin, and as soon as the alcohol evaporates, it's no longer effective? GCNteam.com has alcohol-free antibacterial soap and foam meeting or exceeding all requirements set forth by the United States Food and Drug Administration. Come to GCNteam.com, keyword antibacterial, or call 877-878-4203.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And if you're quick, you can still get on the air with us. With you tonight, it's Aria.
And Johnson.
And Conan.
And I want to say thank you to Ashredo, who is tonight's amplifier. Now, that means they are a member of the AMP program. That stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. It's a membership program where people contribute $5 per month is all we ask. And it's money that we use strictly to advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live. So if you like the show, the best way that you can support us and help us get on more radio stations, get more ads out there, and help spread the ideas of liberty and wacky, nihilistic conversations is to join the AMP program. It also comes with a number of cool perks like the AMP-only Facebook group, the AMP-only chat on Discord, and even an AMP-only call-in line that you can find at discord.freetalklive.com. So, Ashredo, thank you very much for your contributions. We hope you enjoy the show, and we hope you continue helping us, as we said, advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live. So let's go now to what the scientists behind whose research or work or whatever led to this dopamine fasting thing actually has to say.
Yeah. So they say here, so no one's actually fasting from dopamine. It's important to note that despite the name, the original idea behind dopamine fasting...
Oh, hold on, because that raises a good point. By fasting, does dopamine fasting, in fact, give them dopamine? Because that is, in fact, a task with a reward at the end.
This is kind of like the hedonist stoic argument. Am I a stoic because I'm actually a hedonist doing what makes me feel good? Go on, Johnson.
They say that the goal is not to reduce dopamine or elicit functional brain changes. Seppa, who's a clinical professor of psychiatry at the University of California, San Francisco, told Live Science in an email, instead, dopamine fasting encourages people to reduce the time spent on problematic behavior, he said. Still, research shows that there's a connection between dopamine and problematic behavior, such as drug abuse. When the brain picks up clues that it may soon receive a reward, whether that reward be food, illicit drugs, or likes on social media, a flash of dopamine zaps the reward pathway, according to Slate. Another hit of dopamine comes with the reward itself. Addictive substances and behaviors repeatedly bombard the reward pathway with huge surges of dopamine, and over time the brain morphs in response. When we image drug users' brains, we find that the immediate aftermath of using, they actually have less dopamine and fewer dopamine receptors than those who don't use drugs, said Dr. Anna Lemke, associate professor and medical director of addiction medicine at Stanford University. All addictive drugs cause dopamine levels to spike in one way or another, Lemke said, and in response, the brain weakens or eliminates the receptors built to respond to the chemical. That means drug users need more of the substance to elicit the same surge of dopamine, and that other rewards, like food and social interactions, steadily lose their appeal. By any other name, as this is like the title here, as a clinician, Lemke recommends that her patients with drug addictions enter a period of abstinence in order to reset the brain's reward system. By its purest definition, a period of abstinence is not unlike a dopamine fast, in which people abstain from problematic behaviors. I call them detox periods, says Dr. David Greenfield, an assistant clinical professor of psychiatry at the University of Connecticut School of Medicine.
That certainly has a more positive connotation to it, because people should, before a problematic behavior becomes an addictive one, cut it out then.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously they don't always have the presence of mind or even the willpower to do that.
Yeah.
But if it can be done, that would be ideal. Right. Detox.
Yeah, he says we go through a period where we allow those receptors to calm down. Greenfield treats destructive behavior that may impact the Silicon Valley folks drawn to dopamine fasting, compulsive internet and technology use. Dopamine surges in the brain's reward system each time we so much as glance at a smartphone or a laptop screen, he said, and rewarding notifications and media pop up unpredictably whenever we go online. People grow addicted to devices just as they do to drugs, Greenfield said. Lemke said she has witnessed the phenomenon too. People coming into my clinic with severe pathological compulsive use of these interfaces, she said. Although the internet and video game addictions have yet to be recognized as true disorders in the Bible of mental health disorders, the DSM-5, experts recognize that both substance use and excessive screen time wreak similar havoc in the brain. And just like drug addiction, the goal of treatment is to detox from the most problematic sites and content, Greenfield wrote in a 2018 article on internet and video game addiction. But after the initial period of abstinence, the real work begins, he added. So, for example, I would say before we get into this, what makes this addictive behavior? Well, if a person, like an individual has let's say it's a student or somebody who's going to college, they want to have a future where they have a college degree and they want to become, some sort of profession, and instead they're stuck surfing these dumb websites, and they know that they shouldn't be doing it, but they feel addicted to it. That would be the type of negative behavior that's indicative of an addiction, and they're seeking the dopamine rather than doing what their real actual goals are. And it may be subjective, but to that person,
no, I certainly agree that addictions are problematic. And just because you find an addict who's like, no, I enjoy my addiction and destroying my life, it doesn't mean they're to be taken too seriously, because at that point they have an addiction, they have a problem, they have a physical or mental dependency on something and are not 100% in a state of mind necessary to be making those sorts of judgment calls for themselves.
And some people apparently can fall into that. I mean, I think it's probably overblown with some of the video games and internet addictions. I think it's probably overblown, but I'm sure that it's enough for some people. You know, I'm sure that there are people out there that can absolutely get fully addicted to this stuff. And, you know, I don't know, like they need the dopamine from it. So they're like, I got to be online all the time.
Yeah, but the question is, you know, if they didn't have this outlet, the social media or whatever, what else would they be addicted to? What would they be using to fill the void? So I'm thinking underlying all of this, there are other issues involved.
Is that they never learned safe, positive distribution of their time across various things?
Absolutely. They're basically, I think they're bored and they're filling a void. They're getting off of work and
so instead of alternating between playing the guitar, writing a book, cleaning the house, petting the cats or whatever, they just find that one thing and obsessively chase after it.
And like I keep going back to, it's really, really easy to do. And it's very rewarding. Again.
Well, so is petting my
usually,
cats.
I would call it like a lack of self-discipline, right? A lack of discipline to go and do the things that you know you should be doing as a normal human being, I guess.
Self-discipline is definitely lacking in the world today.
Yeah. And, I would say, like, you know, a lot of people don't want to do things like, you know, clean the house, you know, eat a salad, go to the gym, things that are generally recognized as healthy, positive activities. And, you know, even if those activities are doing things like reading an intellectual book or something that's going to expand your mind, let's say, not just garbage, you know, more garbage reading, but like something that's self-growth, any kind of self-growth activity. I think people that lack discipline are able to get, you know, some kind of addictive behavior to more rewarding pursuits. And that
because they don't have to
have
discipline themselves to acquire them.
What?
They don't have to discipline themselves to acquire that reward.
Easy. Yeah, exactly.
So it sort of just feeds on itself.
Yeah, I would say so. And but that's any addiction, right? So
the issue is a lack of self-discipline.
Yeah.
Because I was getting worried a few months ago about the amount of alcohol I was drinking. Mm-hmm. So I stopped drinking for a few weeks, which is, I guess.
Fasted.
Yeah. But it worked, and it allowed me to reset and assure myself, okay, I'm not developing alcoholism. I'm fine. I had no issue doing that for a month, so I'm going to go back to drinking occasionally.
And maybe people, I don't know, if you kicked these people off video games on the internet, would they just pick up smoking? Like, what would, you know, like what could people turn to? I don't know. You know,
I think they would fill it with something else. Yeah. Something else, not the same destructive behaviors, but I think something equally.
Well, isn't that what drug dealers do? They stop doing drugs and they just start making a lot of impulse purchases and things like that.
Or gambling.
Or gambling.
Unless maybe they go on one of these dopamine fasts.
Until they learn
to reset the reward center.
Until they learn self-discipline, those problems are always going to find new ways to manifest.
One of the doctors was talking about the detox. She sends her patients on a detox. And it's like if they're doing destructive drugs, that doesn't really help. So yeah, you get off heroin for a couple of weeks, and then what do? They go right back, except now they overdose because they thought they can handle a certain limit.
They have this whole cognitive behavior therapy set of activities for them to do that are meant to help reset this.
That's good. Hopefully they'll learn some self-discipline along the way. This has been Free Talk Live. You can head on over to freetalklive.com and check out amp.freetalklive.com.
You will understand the true intent of the Founding Fathers when they wrote the Constitution if you attend this free webinar. Chris Ann Hall, president of Liberty First University, doesn't simply regurgitate what some professor or expert has said about the Constitution. She relays the thoughts and opinions of those who wrote the documents. Her straightforward, passionate, easy-to-understand style lets anyone grasp the principles of liberty. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com. I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners